shame-free life.
Hey, blessings to your family. Hope you're doing well. Shalom to you. Let's go ahead and get the housekeeping tips out of the way. Listen, if you haven't subscribed to the Shame Free Life channel, where we're going to continue to keep it real, we're going to continue to talk about trauma, wholeness, healing, our purpose and our identity that the Most High have given us. Now, oftentimes we have yet to go on the road or journey down the road of self-discovery. Perhaps because of the injury of trauma, we've taken on identities that are not ourselves because we don't like ourselves because of the trauma. I invite you, subscribe to this channel. Right below, hit the subscribe button. Right beside it is a bell. If you click that bell, you get the instant notification whenever I do go live or upload a video such as today. And thirdly, I ask your family, if this content is a blessing to you, if it challenges you, if it confronts you, if it challenges you to master the mirror, if it makes you a much better man or woman for the glory of our Lord and our King and the Most High himself, then why keep it to yourself? Share it with someone else. So let's get right into it. Let's have some kitchen conversation about self-inventory. So the word self-inventory was like downloaded to me, self-inventory. And so I know it's not myself concocting this word self-inventory because I'm not thinking about that. And I know that it's not the enemy of my soul, which is the devil. The devil doesn't care anything about us becoming better or whole. He is not concerned with that. He's concerned with us to continue in a place of brokenness and operating out of a place of emptiness, to his advantage, to our disadvantage, to our demise, but to his victory. So I said, okay, all right, Most High, you must be talking to me about me. So I'm sharing this with you. One thing I'm not going to do, I'm not going to be like anybody that will come at you, whether it's YouTube or whether it's in church, faith-based organization, or whatever the case may be, to, hey, I'm holier than thou. I was born with the halo. I came out of the womb speaking in tongues. I got it going on. I'm a spiritual giant. No, I'm going to keep it 100. Of course, I'm going to say what needs to be said and knowing my audience and when to say it. But I'm not going to appear to be something that I'm not either, because I'm still learning as I'm growing and as I am expanding as a man in the territory of my own mind, as I'm allowing the Most High to uproot things within me, to plant seeds in me for the betterment of me. I want to share that with you as well, because we all are on a journey to wholeness. So self-inventory came to mind. I said, okay, I'm going to revisit that later, but right about now, I pulled up this recipe and I want to cook something different for myself. So I'm going to take this recipe, I'm going to take the ingredients that it calls for, and I'm going to whip up something in the kitchen and I'm going to make this happen, because it's a pretty healthy dish. I opened up my kitchen cabinets and thinking that I have all of the ingredients, but I don't have the key ingredients that the recipe calls for to pull everything together to justify being in the kitchen, to conduct this recipe in an orderly fashion that I could benefit from this dish. So I'm looking at the herbs and the spices and thinking, okay, well, you know what? I don't have what the recipe is calling for, but maybe I can substitute a different herb or a spice for what the recipe calls for. But no, if I do that, then I'll alter the recipe. If I do that, then the recipe is really not the original recipe. It's something that is added that the recipe doesn't call for. So I'm missing the ingredients, so I need to go to the store, get the necessary herbs and spices that the recipe calls for, so that the dish will be complete. So what am I saying? Oftentimes in life, and I'm taking a look at my own self, okay? Because the word came to me first. And the word says that the husbandman must be the first partaker of the fruit, which means that not only am I not exempt, but God is talking to me. Listen, Ronald Zion, let's talk about self-inventory of your life. And I'm sharing this video because hopefully you'll be able to do the same concerning your own lives. Just as I open up the kitchen cabinet to pull out ingredients and to institute it into this recipe, that this dish will be a healthy dish for myself. And if I want to share this dish with somebody else, then they would benefit from all of the ingredients that are necessary in this recipe. And benefit from the nutritional value, benefit from the sustenance of it. But I didn't have it because I did not conduct a self-inventory. Oftentimes we look on the outside, but God is saying, no, Most High is saying, I want you to look on the inside. There's some things that's missing. What's missing in our lives? What are those key ingredients as we're going about our day, as we're going about our purpose, as we're going about trying to make things happen, as we're going about trying to create a business or expand a business or move forward as far as in school and getting various degrees and doing a lot of work. And the first thing that came to mind was Martha. How in the Gospels we see the tale or the account of Martha and Mary, and how Martha was very busy in whipping up a dish in the kitchen for Yeshua, who was not a guest in their house, but he was a friend in their house, and he was there to break bread with them, to kick it with them. He was tired. Hey, listen, I'm hungry. Okay, well, listen, let me get in the kitchen. Let me whip something up. But it was Mary that was at the very feet of Yeshua. And Martha was mad at Mary because Mary was not in the kitchen helping her pull all the ingredients together to fulfill this recipe, to serve it to herself, to everyone that was in there, Lazarus included, but Yeshua chiefly. And then Yeshua said, why are you mad at Mary? You busy doing all of this, but Mary has chosen the best part. She's at my feet, and she's conducting self-inventory. What are we missing in our lives? Is it love? Is it dedication to the Most High? Is it walking in a manner of righteousness? Is it what key ingredients do we need to incorporate into a recipe to serve it, not only that we can benefit from, but those that the Most High have called us to, that they can benefit as well? What key ingredients? Is it healing from all the trauma that we've gone through in life? And so we're busy about doing many exploits, just like Martha. We're busy over here trying to start this, busy over here trying to start that, doing something else, trying to start that. Those things are wonderful, but if the motivating factor is, I'm going to show everybody that I made it. My ex that dogged me out, this person that abandoned me, this person that rejected me, receiving injustice over here, I'm going to show everybody. Y'all going to pull up a seat and bring your popcorn, because y'all going to see me make it. We're operating out of trauma. We're operating out of grief. We're operating out of a real loss that occurred. We need the ingredients of healing. What is the motivating factor in being busy? What is the motivating factor in ministry? How many ministers, how many bishops, apostles, prophets, whatever that we want to entitle ourselves, are operating out of a place that's being unhealed? We're missing some key ingredients. So we're busy in whipping up the ministry. We're busy in whipping up our entrepreneurial path. We're busy in expanding our portfolio as it relates to investments. We're busy in trying to acquire certain things that we can have such a huge social media presence. And we're serving the ministry. We're serving the business. We're serving our gifts. We're serving our talents to others, but it lacks the emotional, psychological, and spiritual, nutritional value and sustenance that the recipe calls for. And I'm like, wow. Most High, are you telling me something? I need to do that. So now, instead of using the ingredients of love, joy, peace, healing, self-identity, self-discovery, being non-compromising in our principles and values, having a true understanding of who we are in the Most High and who He has called us to be, as opposed to becoming something that we're not, to please others who don't understand who they are as well. What we're doing, we're adding ingredients that the recipe, the original recipe, not a copy of a recipe, but the original recipe calls for. So therefore, we cannot benefit from the dish, from the ministry, from the business, from the nonprofit, from whatever that we are setting our hands to do concerning our gifts and our talents. We are not receiving the nutritional, emotional, psychological, and spiritual value because we are using a substitute as opposed to the real ingredient. Self-inventory, kitchen conversation, opening up the cabinets of our own souls to see if we have the ingredients that the recipe of our purpose, that the recipe of the Most High calls for, as opposed to substituting. I'm going to continue to meditate on this, because oftentimes we look on the outside and we look at, oh man, this person over here, man, I never would have thought that person did that. This person over here, oh man, I had so much faith in that person, but man, they did what? No self-inventory. Opening the cabinets of our own souls to see what we're lacking. Opening the cabinets of our own inner being to see what ingredients that we are missing, the inner ingredients that we can apply or that we can get to fulfill the recipe of our purpose. That not only can we benefit from the sustenance and the emotional, again, and psychological and spiritual value, but as we serve it to others, as we give ourselves to others, not being perfect and flawless, because ain't nobody on this planet perfect and flawless, only one, and that's the Most High. But that when we give our talents, when we give ourselves to others, it's not contaminated. There is no cheap substitute for the original ingredient, because I took time to do a self-evaluation and self-inventory, to look in the cabinet of my own soul, to now hold myself responsible. If I don't have it, I need to go get it. If I don't have healing, if I don't have self-respect, if I don't have self-identity, if I don't have self-love, then it's not anybody else's responsibility to get it for me. It's my responsibility to see that I lack it and I need to go get it so that I can benefit from it and that I can serve it to others. If this video is a blessing to you, like it's a blessing to me and challenging me to be a much better man, so that I can be a much better servant and son of the Most High, I want you to like it. I want you to share it. And again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, the Shame Free Life channel, please do so. Finally, if you find yourself in the course of life, you're stuck, and we've all been stuck. And I can speak from experience. Acquiring degrees, but still stuck. have cars and all that stuff, but still stuck. So-called symbols of status, but stuck. Having the anointing, but still stuck. Titles, but still stuck in life because of being injured by attachment traumas from life. And you don't have anybody to walk you through that process. I want you to go to my website, theshamefreelife.com, and just click for a discovery call to see if we are a perfect fit for one another, because what I like to do is walk you through the process. You know, there were times that I was stuck in my life and had nobody around, and then the Most High would graciously send someone would intersect my path and would be able to drop seeds or walk me down the journey of self-discovery, because they saw a better me in me. It just haven't been erected yet because of all of the layers of trauma and rejection and addiction and lack of identity. So let's do it. And as I always say, and will continue to say, that your life begins when you say so. Peace and blessings. Love you to life. Self-inventory. Kitchen conversation. Let's open up the cabinets of our soul and see what we're working with. Peace and blessings to you.
Yeah, shame-free life, shame-free life, shame-free life. Yeah. Shame-free life, shame-free life, shame-free life, shame-free life.